or Bible chapter 9, the Gibeonite deception. It says, as soon as all the kings who were beyond the Jordan, the hill country, and the lowland, all along the coast, the great sea, which is the Mediterranean Sea, towards Lebanon, the Hittites, the Amorites, Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites heard of this, they gathered together as one to fight against Joshua and Israel. So whenever the city of Ai fell, the rest of the clans of Canaan gathered together as one big group to go against Israel. But when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and to Ai, they on their part added with cunning and went and made ready provisions and took worn-out sacks for their donkeys and wineskins, worn out and torn and mended, with worn-out patched sandals on their feet and worn-out clothes, and all their provisions were dry and crumbly. And they went to Joshua in the camp at Gilgal, and said to him and to the men of Israel, we have come from a distant country, so now make a covenant with us. But the men of Israel said to the Hivites, perhaps you live among us, then how can we make a covenant with you? Said to Joshua, we are your servants. And Joshua said to them, who are you, and where do you come from? They said to him, from a very distant country your servants have come, because in the name of the Lord your God, for we have heard a report of him and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon the king of Heshbon, to Og king of Bashan, who lived in Ashtoreth. So our elders and all the inhabitants of our country said to us, take provisions in your hand for the journey, and go to meet them, and say to them, we are your servants, come now make a covenant with us. Here is our bread. It was still warm when we took it from our houses as our food of the journey on the day we set out to come to you, but now behold, it is dry and crumbly. These wineskins were new when we filled them, and behold, they have burst. And these garments and sandals of ours are worn out from the very long journey. So the men took some of the provisions, but did not ask counsel from the Lord. And Joshua made peace with them, and made a covenant with them to let them live, and the leaders of the congregation swore to them. At the end of 3 days after they had made a covenant with them, they heard that they were their neighbors, and that they lived among them. And the people of Israel set out and reached their cities on the 3rd day. Now their cities were Gibeon, Cherephoth, Beeror, and Kiriath Jearim. The people of Israel did not attack them, because the leaders of the congregation had sworn to them by the Lord the God of Israel, so he is Jesus. Then all the congregation murmured against the leaders, but all the leaders said to all the congregation, we have sworn to them by the Lord the God of Israel, and now we may not touch them. This we will do to them, let them live, lest wrath be upon us, because of the oath that we swore to them. And the leaders said to them, let them live. So they became cutters of wood and drawers of water for all the congregation, just as the leaders had said to them. Joshua summoned them, and he said to them, why did you deceive us, saying, we are very far from you, when you dwell among us? Now therefore you are cursed, and some of you shall never be anything but servants, cutters of wood and drawers of water for the house of my God. They answered Joshua, because it was told your servants for a certainty that the Lord your God had commanded his servant Moses to give you all of the land, to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. And so we feared greatly for our lives because of you, and did this thing. And now behold, we are in your hand. Whatever seems good and right in your sight to do to us, do it. So he did this to them, and delivered them out of the hand of the people of Israel, and they did not kill them. But Joshua made them that day cutters of wood and drawers, I cannot say that word, drawers of water, for the congregation and for the altar of the Lord to this day, in the place that he should choose. So the Gibeonite deception, they pretty much just lied to Joshua about what they were doing. And Joshua's pretty much like, hey, you lied to me, now you will, serve us. I mean, that's what happened. First, that's what the Gibeonite deception was. They lied to Joshua about who they really were, and then when the truth came out, Joshua's like, well, since y'all lied, y'all will serve us now. We will not serve y'all. So there you go. So, pretty much the moral to this is, you can't really trust people. You can, but the thing about it is, you gotta know who you can trust, because people will turn their backs upon you, because they will act like they're your friends or whatever, and as soon as something bad happens, they will turn on you like that. So, you can kind of compare that to Joshua 9. That's Gibeonite discussion, meaning you be careful who you trust, man, because some people will turn on you in a heartbeat. So, anyway, that's chapter 9. I'll be with chapter 10 in a minute.